Before we get started with tonight's episode, I have to thank last week's generous super chatters, Rob Christensen and Jonathan Carney. Rob is no stranger to this channel. He has been a very generous donator for the past couple weeks now. He's a lover of all things TV and streaming and movies. If you guys love all that stuff, you gotta check out Rob's channel. He's also got a weekly podcast that he does with his friend Jim called Jim and Rob Overanalyze Movies. It's exactly how it sounds. Great reviews and great discussions about all your favorite movies, new and old. Check them out. You won't regret it. And Jonathan is only a couple subscribers away from hitting his very first 100 subscriber milestone. He's an up-and-coming channel who, like us, loves to talk about all things movies and TV, does movie reviews, has some really interesting opinions. You guys should check him out, give him some support, send him some love, and help him get to that 100 subscribers. Maybe we can do it by tonight. Thank you, gentlemen, once again for your very generous donation and support towards the channel. It truly means so much to me, and I cannot thank you enough. Tonight on Zach Milne Talks Live, with the release of Dial of Destiny, we are going to rank every single Indiana Jones film from the worst to the best. Please be nice to me. Fans of the Kill Bill franchise who were hoping we would get a third installment, Tarantino has some updates for you, and it may not be good. Barbie is a very highly anticipated movie that many of us are looking forward to. Well, Mattel, they've got their sights ahead of Barbie. They have way more projects planned. We're going to go through a couple of them tonight and see what those crazy folks over at Mattel are doing with the rest of their properties. And finally, the last shining hope that Comic-Con may be something special this year has crashed, as James Gunn's revealed he ain't going. All that and more, Zach Milne Talks Live starts right now. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Zach Milne Talks Live. It's an honor to have you guys here. I'm very excited to talk to you guys tonight. If you guys are new, by the way, if you haven't been here before and you're just checking us out, consider hitting that subscribe button. We talk about movies and TV and all that stuff all the time. We do these live shows every week, and we are like 27 subscribers away from hitting 2,000 subscribers, guys. I can't even begin to fathom like how close we are. It's insane. I'm so thankful to all you guys who are just killing this goal. It's been incredible. Thank you, everybody. And with that, let's see what you guys are talking about in the chat. Let's just get right into it. We got a lot to talk about tonight, and I'm excited to get started. So let's just do it. All right, let's see what we got here. We've got 80s kid from the 90s. Good evening, everybody. Well, good evening to yourself, 80s kid from the 90s. Happy to have you here tonight, buddy. Preston Movie and TV Reviews is in here. Hi. Well, hello, Preston. Thanks for joining us tonight, man. 80s kid from the 90s. I watched another episode of Secret Invasion today. As soon as I finished it, I asked myself, what did I just watch? You know what? I'm really enjoying Secret Invasion. I haven't seen episode 3 yet. I haven't watched episode 3 yet. I've only seen episode 1 and 2 so far, but I'm really liking it so far. I think that the environment and the vibe of it all and the mystery of who's who is going really well so far. And I'm surprised not too many people are talking about it. It's flying under a lot of people's radars. It's in a world where She-Hulk was talked about. I feel like this should be talked about on the same level as WandaVision to some extent, to be honest. So I'm kind of hoping it catches on. We got 80s Kid from the 90s saying Dune Part 2 looks really good. Haven't seen anything from it. Haven't seen the first one. I'm going to watch the first one, and I'm going to go right into Dune Part 2. So we'll see Part 2. Actually, you know what? Maybe I won't watch a single trailer. I might just go straight into Part 2. And, see how that goes. Gravy X Train's in here. What's going on, Gravy? Thanks for joining us tonight, man. Happy to have you here. How's it going, Zach? I was bummed I wasn't able to make it to the last stream, but I'm glad I could make it here. Well, I'm glad you could make it here too, buddy. I'm happy to have you here. It's going to be a good night. 80s Kid from the 90s. I'm excited for Ahsoka. I started to rewatch Season 2 of Rebels on DVD last month, but I never had enough time. Yeah, I'm not going to watch Rebels before Ahsoka. Ahsoka just has to hit me. As soon as Ahsoka starts, it just has to hit me. And if it doesn't grab my attention, then I'm sorry. I'm probably going to bail on it. I hope I don't have to, but it's possible. My buddy Zach Attacks Reviews is in here. What's going on, buddy? Hey, everyone. Hey, Zach. Thanks for joining us tonight, man. I'm happy to have you here. Toxic Gamer 331's in here. What's going on, man? Olo, everyone. Well, Olo, Toxic Gamer. Thank you for joining us tonight, buddy. Happy to have you here. Preston, Movie and TV. Hey, Zach. How's it going? Going pretty well. Thank you for asking. How are you doing, man? 80s kid from the 90s. Light and Magic is my favorite show. If you're talking about the Lucasfilm documentary Light and Magic about the special effects company, yeah, I loved that documentary. That documentary, it was a mini series actually, wasn't it? So good. Really loved it. If you guys, I think I said this last week too, but I cannot stress this enough. If you guys are big movie fans, if you love the movies, you love the behind the scenes of movies, you gotta check out Light and Magic. If we don't watch it, Disney Plus will rip it out of our hands. I do not want them to do that, people. Please watch it. Please support it. Toxic Gamer 331. Nice haircut, Zach. Oh, well, thank you very much, man. Yeah, I just got it done. I literally just got back from getting my haircut, so I appreciate that. Gravy X Train, the hair is looking good, Zach. Well, thank you very much, guys. I'm flattered. Thank you so much. That's very nice of you. Speaking of nice of you, I'm gonna get to that, Zach. I'm oh man, dude, you're too cool. Michael Entity, what's going on, Michael? Thanks for joining us tonight. What's up, Zach? I just went to go see Dial of Destiny. I definitely didn't love it, but I still think it was a good entry in the franchise. But as far as a send-off, it should have been a lot more epic. Yep, I agree. We're going to talk about Dial of Destiny a little bit. We're going to be ranking the Indiana Jones films. I can already tell you guys right now, you're going to hate my list. You're going to hate my list. I was finally able to find time. I got into my comment section on my Dial of Destiny review. By the way, if you haven't seen my Dial of Destiny review, go check it out. It's on the channel now, and it's been getting a lot of love and support. So I appreciate that, guys. Thank you to everyone who checked it out. Thank you to everyone who's going to check it out. I really appreciate that. But I finally got into the comment section of that, and I was reading some of the comments because I said it wasn't as good as Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and people did not agree with that. So I know there's a number of people out there tonight who are not going to agree with my Indiana Jones ranking. But you know what? That's what makes it fun, right? We all have different opinions. We all have things we like and don't like, and I'm looking forward to seeing what your guys' ranking will be as well. 80s kid from the 90s. Will we be getting a Masters of the Universe film? Stay tuned. We're going to talk about that very soon. Yes. 80 kid from the 90s, cool Star Wars t-shirt. Well, thank you, dude. Yeah, I've had this for a number of years. I'm glad it still fits. I like this. Yeah, Star Wars, got Vader, favorite characters on there. It's great. Preston and movie and TV reviews. I'm kind of worried about them rebooting everything. Like, you mean like just in general, like the studio's rebooting everything, like we just had Indiana Jones, and what else is getting rebooted this year? I feel like there's tons of stuff getting rebooted this year. Yeah, I mean, as long as we keep going, we keep paying for these reboots, things are going to get rebooted, whether we like it or not. Yeah, I can see your worry, because some things should just be left alone. Toxic Gamer 331. Am I the only one who thinks some of the de-aging shots in Dial of Destiny look like they were from the Polar Express? Some of that whole sequence looked like they were from the Polar Express. I was waiting for Tom Hanks to come out and start, oh, you got it, and hand out hot chocolate to all the Nazis. Okay, if they had done that, it would have been a strong recommend. But they didn't, so I stand by my weak recommend. But yeah, that would have been fun. That's really funny. It's at points, yes, I do think the de-aging was a little shoddy at times. Sometimes it looked actually really good, mostly when it was like standing still. And then it kind of took me out of the movie a bit when it moved, because it kind of looked like a video game at times and was really cartoony. So you're not alone in that, man. The View with Drew. What's going on, Drew? Hey, what's up, everybody? Well, what's up, Drew? Thanks for joining us tonight. You didn't say what's up, everybody. You said, hey, what's up? I read that wrong. I apologize. I added a few words. The View with Drew. Good news. I got a Blu-ray movie recently and saw a movie on TV. That's awesome, dude. What movies? You got to tell us what movies. What did you get on Blu-ray and what did you watch on TV? Lance Jackson, what's going on, Lance? Thanks for joining us tonight, man. What's up, Zach? Just hanging out with my grandparents. Well, hello to Lance's grandparents. I hope you guys are having a great night. I hope you guys are having fun. And by the way, to all my American friends, it's the 5th. Never mind. I hope you guys had a happy 4th of July. I hope you guys had a good time. Hope you had a lot of relaxation, great times with friends and family. It was Canada Day weekend over here. I had a great time, had lots of family and friends over, so it was great. Nathan's Random Movies. What's going on, Nathan? Thanks for joining us. Hey, Zach, I wanted to know if you have seen anything new lately, like Air. I recently saw Saving Private Ryan for the first time, which is the only movie ever that made me cry. Saving Private Ryan is so great. Guys, I'm very happy to report I watched Air. I did it! I did it, guys. I said I would watch it like for 3 weeks straight now, and I finally did it. I watched Air. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I was surprised because the story honestly did not sound that interesting to me. Oh, you're going to make Michael Jordan a shoe. That's great. But the performances really carried the entire movie, I thought. Matt Damon, what I liked about it, also I loved Chris Tucker in that movie. What I loved about the movie, because when I clicked on it, it said it was a sports film, and I'm not a huge sports fan. I'm not big into sports, so I'm not big on sports films. But what I liked about it was like a business side of the sports industry, but they still had it be an underdog story with Matt Damon's character, who was like the only one who believed that he could get Michael Jordan and make this shoe. I thought the process to making the shoe itself, it was fine. The story I didn't think was the most exciting story, but like I said, the characters, the acting really, really carried the movie. I had a really good time with it. I enjoyed it. I was happy I finally got around to seeing it. Right, we got Toxic Gamer 331. I haven't watched episode 2 or 3 so far of Secret Invasion, but I'll watch it sometime this week. Yeah, man. I mean, episode 2, I think episode 1 was still better than episode 2. I'm really looking forward to seeing episode 3. It's oh man, that's halfway through this. It's only 6 episodes. We're all halfway through the show already. I will say this, I do hope it starts to pick up a little bit more than in episode 3. Especially, or maybe even after episode 3, but it's been a little bit of a slow build up for now. I'm hoping it's really gonna start kicking off. And Zach, man, dude, Zach Attacks Reviews, dude, giving the $10 to, you're not even saying anything. You just sent in $10 for the sake of sending in $10. Dude, thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate that. And yeah, guys, if you look, you can see the Super Chat guide right there. I know a lot of you guys have channels of your own. And if you send in a Super Chat along with a question, or just send in a Super Chat like Zach generously did here, we got some tiers. And for $1.99, I'll make a community post shouting out your channel. For $2.99, you get the community post, as well as the link in the description of the video for your channel. And for $4.99 or more, like Zach just did here, you get the community post, you get the link in the description of this video, as well as next episode's video, and you also get a special video shout out like you saw at the beginning of this episode for Rob Christensen and Jonathan Carney. So Zach, you will get that next week. You'll get all that tonight. I really appreciate that, dude. Thank you very much. Michael Entity. Hey, Zach, I've always been curious to know, other than doing movie reviews and live streams, what do you actually do for a living? What do I actually do for a living? Other than this, that pays me so well. No, I'm blessed for where I'm at in this YouTube career. It's been incredible, and a lot of that is due to you guys. Like, honestly, all of that is due to you guys, honestly. What do I actually do for a living? What I do for a living is I'm a delivery driver for a auto shop parts store. I know nothing about cars. I know nothing about what we sell. I just get the delivery. They tell me where to go, and I drive it there. I just drive around my town the whole day, which is really nice. It's a nice job. I've been there for 2.5 years. I'm creeping up on 3 years now, actually. Before that, I did just retail work, but this has been fun. There's Bluetooth in the car, so I'm able to listen to a bunch of podcasts. I can download some YouTube videos. I listen to some of you guys in the car, catch up on your videos there. So yeah, it's a nice job. It's a 9 to 5:30. It's really great. Thank you for asking, man. Nathan's Random Movies. Lately, I have lost interest in anything Lucasfilm related, especially after Dial of Destiny, which was a major letdown for me. I'm not going to say that I've lost interest in anything Lucasfilm, but Lucasfilm, their properties used to have this kind of magic to it, like Star Wars, Indiana Jones. You know, like I used to really look forward to things that came out of that. Not so much anymore, especially with Star Wars. Like Star Wars, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like that whole brand has just been diluted by what Lucasfilm has put out from it. I mean, there's been good stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a Kathleen Kennedy hater. Like, she's done good stuff. I like The Force Awakens. I like Last Jedi more than I dislike Last Jedi. I like Rogue One a lot. I really enjoyed The Mandalorian. There were moments in Obi-Wan that made my heart smile because they were things I dreamed about seeing for so long, even though overall I wasn't that impressed with the show. But Yeah, and then you got Book of Boba Fett, and then you got Rise of Skywalker. I wasn't a big fan of Solo. There's a lot of misfires in there as well. That's kind of diluted the brand for me, unfortunately. The View with Drew, I got the Blu-ray for Rocket Man, and I saw Ray starring Jamie Foxx. Nice, dude. I love Rocket Man. That is the Elton John musical with Taron Egerton. That's the Rocket Man I'm thinking of, anyways. I love that movie. That was such a good movie. 80s gift from the 90s. Since there are no movies for me to watch until August, wow, I'm excited to review more action figures again. I usually focus on Star Wars toys, but now I'm starting to review G.I. Joe and Marvel Legends too. That's awesome, dude. You're not going to see anything until August? What about, you're not excited for Barbie or Oppenheimer or Mission Impossible or any of that kind of stuff? Man, dude, I'm so looking forward to Mission Impossible. I'm so looking forward. Gravy X Train. Looking forward to some new movies. I'm going to see Insidious the Red Door. I will not be seeing that tomorrow. And I'm going to see Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 on Monday. First movie I get to see early. Dude, that's amazing. I'm jealous, but I'm excited for you. That's awesome. You get to see Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 on Monday. Wow. I cannot wait for that movie. I cannot wait. I just saw on YouTube today they released another kind of like talk about one of the stunts in the movie involving a train. And I mean, not to not to throw shade at Dial of Destiny, but it looks like one movie this year is definitely going to do a train chase sequence a lot better than another one. Let's just put it that way. Zach Attacks Reviews. Crystal Skull for the win. You're my guy, Zach. You're my guy. We'll talk about that in a minute. Toxic Gamer 331. I would still say Dial of Destiny is better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but I had more negatives with Skull. But Destiny, I had a lot of mixed thoughts about it. Yeah, I mean, that seems to be the majority of the thoughts is the majority of people find Dial of Destiny better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I'm not one of those people. I've always kind of thought Crystal Skull was overly hated. We'll talk about it a little bit more in a minute. 80s gift from the 90s. I'm not giving Disney my money to watch Indy 5 until I watch it for free on Disney Plus. You can wait for Disney Plus, dude. I honestly, I don't think there's anything that you're going to be missing out on by seeing it in the theater. There was a couple people in my theater that were really, really big Indiana Jones fans. You could tell because he's in the trailer, so this isn't a spoiler. But when Sala showed up in the film for the first time, there was like one guy in the front row that was like, yeah, and tried to get a clap going for the audience. No one followed along with him, but he was pretty excited to see that character. Nathan's Random Movies. What movies are you going to watch in July? I'm seeing Insidious tomorrow, as well as Mission Impossible, Oppenheimer, maybe Barbie, and Haunted Mansion. Definitely going to see Mission Impossible. That's my most anticipated, I think, for the rest of the year. I'm definitely going to see Oppenheimer. Well, I'm hoping to see Oppenheimer. I'm out of town on the weekend of Oppenheimer and Barbie's release, which is a little bit of a bummer, but, you know, it's important to hang out with family and do trips like that. So I'm going to see Oppenheimer and Barbie eventually. And Haunted Mansion, I'm kind of like take it or leave it. I've never seen the Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion movie, but this movie kind of looks like I won't need to, so I could probably just go in cold and just watch it for the movie that it will be. It looks a little freakier than I would expect it to be from a Disney, as a Disney movie, but I'll probably check it out. And I think the Meg in July? No, the Meg is in August. I'm kind of really excited for the Meg. Lance Jackson, me and my grandparents went to the store today and I bought a GameCube game and a movie. I bought Shrek 2 for the GameCube and I bought it Bend It Like Beckham. I love that movie. I got it from Mega Replay. Shrek 2 for the GameCube, dude. I used to have that. That is bringing back some nostalgic thoughts right there. I loved Shrek 2 on the GameCube. And did you ever have that green Shrek TV that was shaped like Shrek's head? Or was that just something that I dreamt up? I don't know. Preston Movie and TV Review. Well, I'm watching Dial of Destiny on Saturday, so I'll have to see if I agree. Dude, honestly, I hope you love it. I really hope you love it. I hope that it works for you. I hope that it hits better for you than it did for me. I hate walking out of movies let down. I definitely, we'll talk about it more when I do the ranking. Nathan's Random Movies. My ranking of the Indiana Jones movies drops on my channel tomorrow. Nice. Looking forward to checking that out, dude. Oh, we did a jump there. And we got Mr. Teach Film Preach Reviews. I love that name, man. What's going on, dude? Thanks for joining us tonight. Hey, Zach. What's up, everyone? Nice haircut, Zach. Thank you very much. Great review of Dial of Destiny. So, big question for July. Are you doing the Oppenheimer Barbie double feature? I really wanted to do the Barbie and Oppenheimer double feature. Unfortunately, I'm out of town on the weekend that it comes out, so I may do that when I get back. I don't know. I want to see Barbie on Thursday night and then Oppenheimer on Friday because I work the next day after Barbie, and Barbie is a shorter movie. I don't think I can do 5 hours in one night, and I don't really want to wait until Friday to see Barbie or Oppenheimer, but unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to miss a double feature. I think that's what's going to end up happening. I'll just catch them on separate days. But man, I was looking forward to doing that. Like 6 hours in the theater. I was like, bring it on. Toxic Gamer 331. Zach, have you watched Flamin' Hot? I have not. I've heard good things about it, but I haven't watched it yet. All right, guys, we'll take a little pause from the comments and questions for now, and we will move on to topic number 1. I'm a little scared for topic number 1, but we're just gonna jump into it. We're just gonna do it. Oh boy. All right, topic number 1, guys. So, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is now out playing in theaters. It has once again, for the second time, wrapped up the Indiana Jones saga. Hopefully, this is the final time we can say this is the last Indiana Jones film. Harrison Ford is 80, so I'm sure it will be. But now we have 5 films. We have 5 films in Indiana Jones' saga that we gotta rank. My favorite to, or my least favorite to my favorite. So let's just kick this off. Be nice to me, guys. Be nice to me. I can guarantee some of you are going to hate, most of you are going to hate this list. But you know what? This is just my opinion, and I got to be honest, because if I'm not honest with my opinion, then what's the point of being here? Anyways, so Dial of Destiny, 5th Indiana Jones film. Let's rank them. Here we go. At number 5 is Dial of Destiny, guys. I wanted to love this movie. I really, really wanted to love this movie. We had James Mangold coming in as the director, Harrison Ford coming back for his last time, and for the most part, I just kind of felt this movie was very generic. There wasn't much in this movie that entertained me for that long. I had spurts of entertainment throughout the movie. There were a couple of action sequences that were fun, but a lot of the action in this movie, it just lost that gritty feeling, you know, that exhilaration. It was all, you could tell it was mostly fake. It was all CGI. Indiana Jones and Harrison Ford is 80 years old. You can forgive them for doing that, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it took away some of the excitement in the action sequences for me. Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Harrison Ford's chemistry in this movie I thought was fine, but the characters' interplay I didn't have that much fun with. And the globe-trotting adventure this time around, I didn't find all that exciting. I didn't think it was worthy of the bloated runtime that this movie had. This movie was way too long. Harrison Ford does give a great performance as Indiana Jones, a more broken down, sadder Indiana Jones. He gets a lot more dramatic meat to play with in this, to chew on in this movie. But I didn't like seeing Indy in the place where they put him. I understand why they put him there for the story's sake. I just wasn't a huge fan of it myself. And for the most part, I don't see myself really ever rewatching this film. I didn't have that much fun with it. The third act really soiled the rest of the movie for me. It was a big letdown. I personally don't think it worked for me. So for that reason, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is coming in at number 5. All right, guys. Keep the pitchforks away. Keep them down. Keep your pitchforks down, okay? Don't hate me. Number 4 is Temple of Doom. Now, I know. A lot of you guys love this movie, and I'm not crapping on this movie. I do enjoy this movie. I feel like the way they get to the temple is a little clunky at times, but once they get to the temple, there is a lot of fun in this movie. The action set pieces are great. Willie is really annoying. She really brings the movie down a bunch of notches for me. A saving grace of me for this movie is Short Round and Indy's relationship. I really love their interplay. I think it's great. I wish we had gotten to see more of Indy and Short Round in more installments. And while I do enjoy it when they get to the temple, there's definitely some darker elements to this movie than other Indiana Jones films. And while some of them I enjoy seeing, some of them don't really work for me. And a lot of it is to do with preference. I don't really like the child slavery stuff that goes on in the temple. It's just not that much fun for me to kind of view. And the voodoo and evil Indiana Jones, it doesn't always work for me. It's got a really fun finale. It's got fun in the middle section. I do enjoy watching this movie. I just don't love it as much as everyone else or a lot of people out there seem to love it. All right, guys. Okay, coming in at number 3. Coming in at number 3, guys. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It's Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, guys, okay? Okay? I like the movie. Don't judge me. Or judge me. I don't care. I like the movie. I like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull more than I like Dial of Destiny and Temple of Doom, which I know really annoys a lot of you. I've found that out the past couple days. But you know what? I really do think that this movie is overly hated. And I'm not going to act like this being the first Indiana Jones film I ever saw doesn't affect this choice, because it definitely does. But I think the first 2 acts of this film are actually pretty decent. I like the warehouse chase at the beginning with the Russians. I think that's a lot of fun. I think the motorcycle chase scene on the university campus with Mutt and Indiana Jones is a lot of fun. I like Mutt. I like Shia LaBeouf as Indy's child. I like the interplay. I like their relationship throughout the movie. The third act, much like Dial of Destiny for me, does kind of soil the movie a little bit, but I feel like the third act of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull works better for me than the third act of Dial of Destiny, and I think this movie has actually aged better for me after watching Dial of Destiny, because the action sequences, there are still a lot of practical stuff being done with these action sequences. They are in real locations. There's real stuff being done. I don't think that this is a movie that I love. It's got issues, but honestly, I find less issues with this film than I do with the previous other 2, and I think they did the Indy aging as an adventurer better than they did in Dial of Destiny, and it gives Indy a nice ending. It gives Indy that marriage to Marion. I like their wedding. I like all that stuff. I like the happy ending for this character. I'm not a big fan of the aliens. I can admit that. The nuke in the fridge, I think that's kind of goofy fun. I understand why people don't like it very much, but I think it's just a moment where it's kind of like the raft from dropping from the airplane in Temple of Doom for me. I just have fun with it. And yeah, Shia LaBeouf swinging through the trees with monkeys is incredibly stupid, but it's just a moment in time. And I like the fight with Indy and the big Russian, and then he gets punched down and eaten by all the ants. You don't really get moments like that in Dial of Destiny. I don't want to compare this to Dial of Destiny. It's very hard to do, but I honestly thought that this was a better conclusion to the saga than Dial of Destiny. That's just me. That's just me, guys. All right, guys, we'll move on. Stay away from that unsubscribe button. You stay away. Stay with me now. We're going to move on to some good stuff here, okay? Now, at number 2, I've got Raiders of the Lost Ark. Now, Raiders of the Lost Ark is honestly a movie I really don't have any complaints about, really. The opening sequence of this movie, phenomenal. The going towards the idol, the rolling boulder, the introduction to Indy, it's all perfection. Seeing him in the university as this professor, you really get a sense of who this character is. When we get into the second act of the film in Cairo, I do enjoy a lot of stuff that happens there with Indy and Marion. When he shoots the guy with the sword, it's iconic. The Nazis being the villains in this works so well. There's just something about the movie I have at number 1 that I prefer over Raiders of the Lost Ark, even though I really don't have any complaints with Raiders of the Lost Ark. If I do, they're very little nitpicks. But number 1 for me is going to be Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Now, what kind of puts this over Raiders for me? Because I've always struggled with Last Crusade and Raiders. Which ones do I like more? I watched both of these over the past weekend, and what I like about Last Crusade a little bit more than Raiders is I think Raiders has the better introduction, although I really do love the River Phoenix introduction in Last Crusade, the flashback, and young Indy. I think all that's great. I enjoy the second act of Crusade a little bit more than I enjoy the second act of Raiders, just because of Harrison Ford and Sean Connery's dynamic. I think they are so much fun. Sean Connery, I think, is so funny as Indy's dad, who doesn't give him any approval or any praise. The humor in Last Crusade works a lot for me. It's got the exciting Indy action, and I do think that Last Crusade has a better third act than Raiders does. When they open the arc in Raiders and Indy's just kind of tied up, I think that having Indy having to go through all these booby traps to try and get the Holy Grail and save his father, it's got stakes, it's got excitement. I think Last Crusade beats Raiders for me as my favorite Indiana Jones film because of those reasons, guys. And for that reason, it comes in at number 1. So, guys, there you have it. That is my ranking, my probably unpopular ranking of all 5 of the Indiana Jones movies. But what do you guys think? I mean, I know a lot of you guys are going to hate this list, and that's good. You should. We should have different opinions, and I want to hear yours. Comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions about this, guys. And without further ado, let's see what you guys are yelling at me about. Oh, man. Yeah. I honestly was not expecting so many. I think me liking Kingdom of the Crystal Skull has become like the hottest take I have on this channel. Wasn't expecting that, but that's what it's kind of turned out to be. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. 80s kid from the 90s. Revenge of the Sith has really become one of my favorites recently. I guess it's because it's the first Star Wars film I saw in theaters when I was 8. The first Star Wars film I saw was Empire Strikes Back. Nice. Revenge of the Sith is a lot of fun. Revenge of the Sith is a movie where I can recognize all of its problems, but the story, even with all of the poor acting and poor choices made by the director, George Lucas, the story is still just so good that it kind of penetrates through all of that and shines through. And I love the action. I love the colors. I love the way it looks. It's just a really, it's like watching a live action cartoon. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I really enjoy Revenge of the Sith. But yeah, Empire Strikes Back is my number 1. I love that movie. 80s kid from the 90s. Empire is still number 1 for me. Yep, me too. Michael Entity, what's a movie that is universally loved by both critics and audiences, but no matter how many times you've tried to watch it, you just can't get into it? I think I've been asked this question before, and I never have a good answer for it. I can never think of one off the top of my head of something that's universally loved by critics and audiences that I just didn't get. Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna have to come back to that one. I'd have to look at some movies that are like and their critic ratings and their audience scores and see what they say. 80s kid from the 90s. Kennedy has produced all of my favorite movies growing up. Yeah, that's the thing is Kathleen Kennedy. I'll never discredit her as a producer or someone in Hollywood because she has created she's had a hand in creating some of the greatest movies ever made. And no one can take that away from her. Yes, she hasn't done the best job at running Lucasfilm at times. Absolutely, you can knock her for that. But you can't deny the Hollywood legend that she is and what she's been able to produce from Hollywood that we all know and love. And I'm never going to take her away from that. Toxic Gamer 331. Yeah, Obi-Wan I thought was my least favorite Star Wars show. I know that's a hot take. That's fair. I mean, it was my most disappointing. It was my most disappointing Star Wars show for sure. Because Book of Boba Fett, I was never a big fan of Boba Fett. Like I got that he looked cool, but that wasn't enough to carry the character for me like it was for a lot of people. So I wasn't really that intrigued to watch his own show, but I decided to give it a shot and I ended up not liking it. But yeah, Obi-Wan hurt. Obi-Wan, because it started off so strong. I was really loving, and I love so much stuff that happens in Obi-Wan. But by the time we get to episode 4, and they do the Leia getting kidnapped again, and Obi-Wan has to save her again, and you only got 2 episodes left, man, did that kill the show for me. It was like, seriously? Seriously, you got 6 episodes, and you're going to waste an episode with the same plot you did in episode 2? Yeah, that bothered me quite a bit. And it just some stupid moments. Preston movie and TV reviews. Which are you more excited for, Oppenheimer or Barbie? I'm more excited for Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer just looks really, really good. But Barbie is growing on me. I'll say that. I really didn't have any interest in Barbie a couple months ago, but they're playing the trailers. They're marketing this movie very well. The more I see from it, the more intrigued I get. So Barbie is definitely growing on me, but I don't think it's beat Oppenheimer. I definitely am more excited for Oppenheimer. Toxic Gamer 331. Zach, I know this might be a weird question, but what is one of the weirdest dreams you ever had? What is one of the weirdest dreams I ever had? Well, I mean, I've told this story on the channel before, but I was a very scared kid. One of the reasons I couldn't handle horror movies. And my cousins one night told me the story of Freddy Krueger as if Freddy Krueger was a real entity. They got it from Nightmare on Elm Street. And they told me about, he's a burned up guy. He's got knives on his hands, and he comes for you in your dreams. If he gets you in your dreams, you die. And that freaked me out for so many years. So one night, I had this dream that Freddy Krueger was chasing me down this alleyway or something. And I'm running as fast as I can, but Freddy catches up to me. And when he catches up to me, he grabs me with his knives hands. And I don't know if it was just my imagination or coincidence, whatever, but when he grabbed me by the leg with his knives hands, my cat decided to scratch my leg when I was sleeping. So he grabs me at the moment my cat scratches me in real life. I wake up in a cold sweat. I'm freaked out. That's when I decided to not let Freddy Krueger scare me anymore, and I watched Nightmare on Elm Street, and I watched all the behind the scenes of Robert Englund and all the and everything I could get about Freddy. I watched everything there was to watch about Freddy until I was no longer scared of him, and it worked. Haven't dropped about him since. I am also now 24, so I was like 13, 14 years old at that time, so hopefully I don't dream about him the same way. Gravy X Train. At my Dead Reckoning Part 1 screening, they're also giving out posters for attendees. Nice, dude. Cherish that. That's awesome. 80s gift from the 90s. Hit the like button, everybody. Yes, please do. I need it after that Kingdom of the Crystal Skull take. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Talks Gamer 331. I'm seeing Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning on Monday as well. Nice. Man, you guys are lucky. Wish I was. 80s get... Oh, whoops. We did a jump there. Whoa, there's a big jump. Whoa, okay. You guys are killing it in the chat. That's awesome. 80s gift from the 90s. Crystal Skull is all right. I'll take that, man. Crystal Skull is all right. That's kind of how I feel. I like it. I don't think it's great. I don't love it, but I think it's better than people give it credit for, to be honest. Mr. Teach Film Preach reviews. What are your top 3 excited for or anticipated and films for the remainder of the year now that we are halfway through 2023? Yeah, top 3? Man. Well, Mission Impossible is number 1. Mission Impossible is my most anticipated for the rest of the year. Top 3. There's really not much I'm looking forward to in September. I'm looking forward to that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I'll give Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And the Marvels. Yeah, and the Marvels. I'm looking forward to the Marvels. That's in November. But you know what? Once I watch Doom, maybe Doom 2 will take its place. But as for now, that's where I'm at. Skadooey! Well, what's going on, Skadooey? Thanks for joining us, man. What do you think of Indiana Jones? I really love his... I love him. He's a great character. I think he's a lot of fun. Swashbuckling adventures. I love Last Crusade. I love Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah, great. Great guy. Great movies. We got some people responding to other people. 80s gift from the 90s. I recently watched Joseph, King of Dreams, and The Prince of Egypt. Pretty good DreamWorks movies. I've seen The Prince of Egypt. I don't remember if I've seen Joseph, the King of Dreams. That sounds very familiar to me, though, and I probably watched it in Sunday school, not gonna lie. But I definitely have seen The Prince of Egypt. I watched that, last time I watched that was back in 2020 during the pandemic. Yeah, really good. And it's always funny when Jeff Goldblum pops up in that, because I always forget that he's a voice of a character, and it's just Jeff Goldblum's voice, and I love it. It's so great. 80s kid from the 90s. Sinbad Legend of the Seven Seas is great. I like it almost as much as Lilo and Stitch. Interesting. I've never seen Sinbad Legend of the Seven Seas. I wonder why you compared that to Lilo and Stitch. But that's awesome, dude. Where are we at here? We got a bunch of people kind of responding to each other. I'm just gonna skip some of the responses to each other. I love that you guys are talking to each other in the chat. Keep it up. Do not stop. I'm just gonna go through some of the comments and questions that are directed towards me. Nathan China Movies. In last place is Kingdom of the Crystal Skull for me. It went so over the top with CGI, filled with ridiculous sequences, and felt out of place as it had aliens. See, here's the thing though, did it really, especially that movie came out in 2008. Did it really go that over the top with the CGI? In the third act, I can give you that. Yes, it does have more CGI elements, and CGI gophers, kind of a weird choice, but whatever, I get it. But like the warehouse fight, that's very practical. That was great. That was a lot of fun. The motorcycle chase on the university, that's great. That's a lot of fun. And you know what, too? Kingdom of the Crystal Skull's humor works better for me than Dial of Destiny. I didn't really laugh in Dial of Destiny, but in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, when Indy is sinking in the sinking sand and they throw him the snake and he won't grab onto it, I think that's hilarious, and I think that's a really fun way to play with that character's phobia of snakes. I really like that scene actually quite a bit. I think it's hilarious. So I don't know. I mean, I can see what you're saying, because yes, the aliens are completely over the top. There is some CGI in the jungle and CGI monkeys in the third act, but for the most part, I really don't think it's that overly CGI in my opinion. Zack Attack reviews. I have Temple of Doom in the same spot. Nice, dude. We will hide from the mob together. We will hide from their pitchforks together. 80s kid from the 90s. For me, it's number 4, Crystal Skull. Number 3, Last Crusade. Number 2, Temple of Doom. And number 1, drum roll, is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Nice, dude. I mean, I'm not going to complain with Raiders being number 1, because honestly, that's the one I always struggle with. Do I like Raiders more? Do I like Last Crusade more? There's just elements in Last Crusade that I enjoy more than Raiders, but man, Raiders and Last Crusade, they're all both great. Great movies. Toxic Gamer 331. I agree. Willie is really annoying. Yeah, not to the not blaming the actress. Like, that's what she was told to do. But did she have to scream so much? Like, every time, did she really have to scream? Although I love the scene where Indy and Short Round are in that cave or whatever they're in, and the roof starts coming down with the spikes, and she's got to reach through all the bugs to pull the lever. That was a really good use of that character being frightened of everything in the jungle and having to overcome that. So there's some redeeming qualities to Willie, but for the most part, I find her so annoying. 80s kid from the 90s. No, wait, Crystal Skull is at number 2 for me. I rewatched it recently. It's really good. We've got another one, folks. We've got another one. He's got it at number 2. That's awesome, dude. I'm glad that you enjoy Crystal Skull. Sounds like you like it even more than I do, which is awesome, dude. I'm glad to not be alone. And I've endured that for and I'm sure you have too then, have endured that for so long, of people crapping on Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, just saying it was so awful. And I don't get it entirely. I understand to some extent, but I don't understand why it gets the amount of hate that it gets. And there's a lot of the same problems in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull as there are in Dial of Destiny. So I'm also kind of confused why Dial of Destiny is getting a pass, why it's being upheld and beloved by a lot of people right now, but Kingdom of the Crystal Skull did not get that. Although, when Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out, I bet you the narrative was different, because it does, I believe, at the moment have a higher Rotten Tomatoes score. Excuse me. It has a higher Rotten Tomatoes score than Dial of Destiny does. Zack Attacks reviews. 80s kid, did you know what you're talking about? Oh, you responded to someone. Sorry. Toxic Gamer 331. I think the Indies franchise's perfect ending was Last Crusade. Oh yeah, no one's gonna deny that. Last Crusade was a great way to end it, with him going off into the sunset. But if you're asking me if Kingdom of the Crystal Skull or Dial of Destiny should have been the place to end it, because I mean, I would have just ended it at 3 if I could, but we do have Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and we do have Dial of Destiny. Which one's the better ending, do I think? I think Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is the better ending, personally. Pastor Reviews, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us tonight. The first one was great, and it was difficult to ever live up to. That's true. The Last Crusade was amazing. Agreed. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Like that Indiana, like Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, and Last Crusade all ended up being good films after, like, because Raiders should have just been like lightning in a bottle. They shouldn't have been able to do it again, and they did it 2 more times. For me, they did it 3 more times. Nathan's Random Movies. In 4th place is Dial of Destiny, which is not much better. It is missing the Spielberg charm, and it weirdly involves time travel, and I didn't care about the plot or characters. Yeah, no spoilers, but I agree. 80s Gift for the 90s. Raiders is at number 2. Just kidding. Last Crusade is great. Yeah, man, like I said, I wrestle with it. And you know what? Maybe tomorrow Raiders will be number 1. I don't know. But there's just things in Last Crusade, Sean Connery and Harrison Ford's chemistry, as well as the last third act where Indy has to go through the booby traps. I find it a little bit more fun than Raiders, but I still have a really great time with Raiders. Preston Movie and TV Review says, I'll have to watch Dial, but so far agree. Nice. All right, man. Someone agrees with me. That's awesome. Mr. Teach Film Preach Reviews. Raiders is number 1. Haha, great list, man. Yeah, I'm not going to blame anyone who puts Raiders at number 1, dude. So that's awesome. Pastor Reviews. James Bond and Han Solo. Enough said. Yeah. James Bond and Han Solo. Enough said. I think I get what you're saying there. Maybe I don't. Zack Attacks Reviews. I'm editing my video as I listen to yours. That's great, dude. You're editing your ranking video. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Looking forward to seeing what you got for your list. Toxic Gamer 331. The only thing that didn't put Last Crusade at number 1 for me was the villain. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I don't think that Raiders villain is much better, to be honest. They're kind of on par for me. They're kind of on par. Toxic Gamer says villains, I should say. Yeah, villains. Nathan Joiner Movie says third is Temple of Doom, which is an example of how to do a prequel properly and feature more iconic moments. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it being a prequel doesn't really matter. Not to like that's not a knock against the movie or anything. It's just interesting that they decided to make it a prequel because ultimately it didn't really add to anything. I wonder where Short Round is. I wish we had gotten an explanation of that. Michael 101591, what's going on, dude? Thanks for joining us tonight. My rankings for Indiana Jones from worst to best are Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Dial of Destiny, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah, I think Raiders and Crusade are going to be flip-flopped for everybody. I think people are going to have those in number 2 and number 1 for the most part. Although there will be a couple Temple of Dooms. I like your list, dude. I like your list. Look, I get it. Not everyone's going to like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and a lot of people like Dial of Destiny. More power to them. I'm glad you did. Nathan's Random Movies. Second is Raiders, an iconic adventure film that introduces everyone's favorite adventurer. Absolutely agree. And Nathan says first is Last Crusade because it added in Sean Connery, who just has great dynamics with Indy. This, in my mind, is the definitive closeout to the franchise. Completely agree, man. Toxic Gamer 331. I rewatched Kingdom of the Crystal Skull recently, and it wasn't as bad as I remember, but it is still the most flawed indie movie of mine. I think it's at least decent now. Well, hey, man, at least it went up a little bit in your mind. At least you no longer hate it. But that's awesome, dude. I'm glad you gave it another chance. Zach Attacks Reviews. Obi-Wan almost made me quit Star Wars. Dang, dude, there was some good moments in Obi-Wan for sure. I liked seeing Darth Vader at the peak of his powers. I liked seeing him face off against Obi-Wan again. And man, the way that ended with Obi-Wan confronting Anakin yet again with the half mask. Oh man, was that? Oh, that was so great. Michael 101591. Have not watched any of the Star Wars series on Disney Plus. Mandalorian is really the only one you got to worry about. Although, you know, Obi-Wan has moments, so I would check out Obi-Wan as well, but you can skip Book of Boba Fett. Jason Entertainment. Hey, Zach, how you doing, man? Well, I'm doing well, Jason. Thanks for joining us tonight, dude. Love your streams. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. What is your order for anticipated movies of July? Mission 8, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Joyride, Insidious, Clone Tyrone, and Haunted Mansion. Well, I'll put Insidious at the bottom because I don't really I haven't seen those movies. I watched half of the first one, and I didn't turn it off because I didn't like it or anything. I was watching it at a friend's place, and then we just ended up not finishing it, and I never went back to it. So I haven't seen that franchise, so I'll put that at the bottom. I'll do Joyride next because it's a raunchy comedy that doesn't look like my type of movie. Like, I'm probably not going to go out and see that one. I hear it's really funny, but raunchy sexual jokes it's not always my sense of humor, especially when it's like overly done, which the trailers kind of look like it was going to be. But I'm sure a lot of people are going to love that. Then I'll go Clone Tyrone because I'm not quite sure what that is. Then I'll go A Haunted Mansion. Then I'll go Barbie, Oppenheimer, and Mission 8. Mission Dead Reckoning. Cannot wait. Michael 101591 says Oppenheimer you're more excited for than Barbie, or will be better than Barbie. Nice. Oh, we did a jump. 3D movie cinema. What's going on, dude? Thanks for joining us tonight. Hey, Zach, what's up? Just dropping by to say hi, man. Keep up the good work. Oh, well, thank you very much, dude. I appreciate that. You just dropped by to say some nice words of encouragement. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Gravy X Train. Me and my friends are doing a boys' night to Barbie. We've been planning that for a while, dude. That sounds so much fun. That sounds like a great time. I'm really excited for you about that. All right, guys, let's take a pause with the comments and questions. We'll get back to them as soon as we can. But first, we got to go on to topic number 2. And where am I at right here? Here we go. All right, so topic number 2 is going to be this, guys. So, one of the most celebrated artiste directors out there is Quentin Tarantino. And Quentin Tarantino has made it clear for a very long time, 10 films. And he's done. Which he's currently working on the 10th film. It's apparently going to be about some critic from the 70s. We don't have too much information about it. Well, we have been wondering for a little while, at least many fans of Quentin Tarantino's has been wondering for a little while, is there any chance of getting his Kill Bill franchise turned into a trilogy? Kill Bill Volume 1, Kill Bill Volume 2. They want to Kill Bill Volume 3. And for a little while, it actually looked like it may happen. Uma Thurman came out and said some comments about it. Quentin Tarantino himself came out and said some comments about it. Even Uma Thurman's daughter talked about possibly coming into the third one. Well, Quentin Tarantino has talked about Kill Bill Volume 3 once again. And for those who are anticipating a possible third Kill Bill, it's not great news. Here's what Deadline had to say about this. Quentin Tarantino is shooting down the rumors that he was working on Kill Bill Volume 3. Many Tarantino fans had hoped that the filmmaker would revisit the Kill Bill universe and cast Uma Thurman's daughter, Maya Hawke, as the potential sequel. However, in a new interview, the director says a third installment of the martial arts film is not happening. I don't see that. My last film is about a film critic, a male critic, and he plays in the 70s. He said in an interview with De Morgan, striking down speculation about Thurman and Hawke teaming up in a Kill Bill follow-up. So there you have it, guys. It does not look like we are going to be getting a Kill Bill Volume 3. Now, was I one of those people that wanted a Kill Bill Volume 3? Honestly, not really. I never really saw the need for Kill Bill Volume 3. I mean, Kill Bill is about a woman who's going out to get revenge on a guy named Bill and kill him. And spoiler alert, for the end of Kill Bill, she kills Bill. So Bill's gone. Bill is dead. And honestly, the Kill Bill films, Volume 1 specifically, they're my favorite Quentin Tarantino films. And this news doesn't surprise me very much that Quentin Tarantino is not going to carry on with the Kill Bill franchise, because Quentin Tarantino, he's not really a director who does sequels. Now, you could argue he did a sequel. He did Kill Bill Volume 1, then he did Kill Bill Volume 2. Now, I would join you in that argument, but Quentin Tarantino shoots that argument down by saying he sees Kill Bill as one film. Now, do I agree with that? Not really. We don't say there's 7 Harry Potter films because Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2 are one film. There's 8 films. So technically, Quentin Tarantino is on his 11th film. As much as he wants to say he's stopping at 10, this is number 11. And Quentin Tarantino, I do believe that he wants to stop at 10, but I don't see it as him retiring. I think it's more of a hiatus. So I'm not surprised that he's like, nope, this is my 10th film. After this 10th film, I am done. Now, could that mean, do I think down the line, Quentin Tarantino, say in 2033, will come back to the scene and announce a Kill Bill 3? I think it's possible, but at this moment, it doesn't look like we're going to be getting that film. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I think Kill Bill works fine, perfectly fine, the way it is. I like the story. I like the way it ends. I don't need a Volume 3 coming in there, mucking it up, bringing Bill back from the dead or something like that. But what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of Quentin Tarantino's comments of Kill Bill Volume 3 and how that movie doesn't look like it's ever going to come into existence? Are you bummed about this? Did you know that they were even talking about this? Did you even want this? Comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions about this, guys. And without further ado, let's take a look at what you guys are saying about this. All right, where did we leave off? Preston TV and reviews. What is your top 5 movies ever? Oh, ever? I have those cemented. Those are, in no particular order, Back to the Future, Jaws, Jurassic Park, Empire Strikes Back, and Psycho. Those are my 5 movies, my favorite 5 movies of all time. They're movies that I love. They are movies that I've watched enough time and I've had it around long enough to know that I'm always going to love them. So they are in my top 5, and they'll probably remain there for the rest of my life, unless something takes its spot in a couple of years that replaces one of the movies. But I don't know if I see that happening. 80s Kid from the 90s. I turned 27 in October. That's exciting, dude. I turned 25 in October, and I can't believe that's happening. Luke Ponto, my man Zach, what's going on? Hope all is well. Well, what's going on, Luke? Thanks for joining us tonight, dude. Happy to have you here. And yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Preston movie and TV reviews. What is your top 5 TV shows? I don't have too many TV shows that come to mind for my top 5. I need to watch more adult TV shows. I was way more into TV shows as a kid than I was as an adult. But I will say My favorite TV show of all time is Friends. I love Friends. People are starting to crap on Friends nowadays. That's fine. You don't have to like it. I understand some of the humor, a little outdated, not so PC for this culture, but I think it's really funny. I love all the characters. I fell in love with them when I was 12 years old. It's been my favorite show ever since. Friends is my number one. Jason Entertainment says for him, it's, so this is his ranking for most anticipated. Haunted Mansion, Joyride, Clone Tyrone, Oppenheimer, Insidious. Oh, you got Insidious up there. Barbie, and most anticipated is Mission 8. Dude, cannot wait. Cannot wait for Mission 8. Especially the reviews. I was going to make that a topic tonight. I don't know why I decided not to, but I didn't. I was reading some of the early reactions to Mission 8. Oh, man, dude, they're getting me excited. They're getting me so excited. People are really liking it. They're saying some people are saying that the action in this one outdoes Fallout, and I cannot even imagine action being better than Fallout. Fallout was incredible. I cannot wait. Toxic Gamer 331. Zach's new motto is "Come over your fears." Come over your fears. That's right, guys. Overtake your fears. If something scares you in a movie, watch everything about it and get over it. Luke Ponto. Here's my ranking for the Indiana Jones movies. At number 5, he's got Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. At number 4, he's got Dial of Destiny. Number 3, Last Crusade. Number 2, Raiders of the Lost Ark. And number 1, Temple of Doom. Yeah, you love your Temple of Doom, dude. I understand you're a horror guy, so I want to understand why Temple of Doom would hit it for you. And that's awesome. That's really awesome, dude. And yeah, Last Crusade, Raiders, like I said, I wrestle with those all the time. Jason Entertainment. By the way, do you think you will do a top 10 movies of 2023 so far? No, I won't. I've been seeing people doing that. I see it being a trend. It's not something that I'm interested in doing, to be honest. I'd rather just wait until everything's out in the end of the year and then just rank everything I watched in 2023 at the end of the year. I don't really see the purpose of doing a top 10 of 2023 so far, because what if those top 10 just ends up being in my top 10 at the end of the year? Then it's just the same video I made twice. So I understand why people do it, and I watch a couple of them. Some of them are fun. It's not something I'm interested in doing, to be honest. 80s kid from the 90s. Do you collect any Hot Toys? I don't really have any Hot Toys. They're really, really expensive. I have a couple of, like, knockoff Hot Toys, I guess you could call them. I don't remember what the company is called that makes these, but I've got a couple that I love. Like, this one is, like, my prized possession. This is Iron Spider from Infinity War. Picked this up back in 2018. Just look at kiss Spider-Man, guys. Give him a kiss. Look at the detail. Look at the detail on this thing. Look at this. Look at this. I love this. I mean, Iron Spider is not my favorite Spider-Man suit or anything, but man, do I love this. So good. I like my Thanos. I got my Thanos here. He's pretty detailed as well. I really like him. He's pretty awesome. And I'm pretty sure... No, he's not. Never mind. I was going to say I'm pretty sure he's anatomically correct to Spider-Man, but I think Thanos was bigger than Spider-Man in Infinity War. And then I've got the Guardians down here. I got Drax and Baby Groot. He's missing his sword. I lost it in a move, which was kind of depressing. Baby Groot's down there with him. I've also got over here, got Gamora with Rocket. Again, she used to have a sword, and I lost that in the move too. But these are pretty good detailed. They were like $50. Like, they're not expensive at all. And last but certainly not least, if I can get them out, yeah, I got Star-Lord. Got Star-Lord right here. I love this one too. This one's pretty cool. He's got the blasters. Pretty good detail. He's got the jetpack on the back here. If I can maybe hold that a little bit better. Yeah, he's got the jetpack coming off the platform here. Yeah, I love these. And like I said, they were like $50. So not very expensive at all. And they look great. I love them. But that's about all I got for, like, Hot Toy looking stuff. Because Hot Toys, they're like a couple $100. So I can't afford those. I really can't. Nathan's Random Movies. Halfway through 2023, what are the best and worst movies of the year thus far? Well, I mean, for me, I think the best movie is Across the Spider-Verse and John Wick Chapter 4. And I liked Air. I don't know if I'd put it in the top, maybe top 5. Maybe it would be in the top 5. For me, the biggest disappointment of the year is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Didn't hate it. Not a bad movie, but disappointing to me. And the worst movies, Peter Pan and Wendy from Disney Plus. That was the worst movie of the year for me. And there's another one that I can't remember what I'm trying to think of. But there was one I gave us a not recommend to that I can't remember what it was. That's how forgettable it must have been. 80s kid from the 90s. How would you have made Lightyear? I don't know. I don't think I would have. I don't think I would have made Lightyear. Lightyear was okay. I don't know. I think I would make maybe make it like The Martian. You know, like Lightyear was trying to get back to save his people. Instead of getting him like a bunch of rookies that he has to team up with, what if he got like lost and he was by himself and he had to find his way back? I don't know. I don't write movies. They fired the director of Lightyear. They'd fire me so fast. No, I don't know. I don't know what I would do with that. Read Comics. What's going on, man? Thanks for joining us tonight. Do you think streaming movies are good or bad? I think movies should be cinematic only, but there are some great streaming movies such as Enola Holmes 1 and 2 and Extraction 1 and 2. I don't think streaming movies, if you're asking about like the concept of streaming movies are good or bad, I don't think they're bad. I think that streaming, here's the thing about streaming movies. Here's what streaming movies have done. They've allowed filmmakers and movies that would have otherwise never get made be able to find a home and get made. Like there are movies on streaming that would never have seen the light of day if it wasn't for streaming. And in that way, I think it's good for the industry. It's giving people work. It's giving directors chances. It's giving actors work and giving them chances to get their name out there. It's getting lower budget films a place to go, lower budget filmmakers a place to put the movies that they make. Now, if you're asking if I think that streaming movies are usually good or bad, they're usually bad. They're usually not great. Occasionally you get a diamond in the rough, as they would say, but for the most part, I don't pay much attention to streaming movies because 9 times out of 10, streaming movies are pretty garbage, in my opinion. But I like that they're there. I like that they're feeding the industry and giving new filmmakers and new voices a chance at the craft and a chance to get their name out there. But yeah, for the most part, I don't watch too many of them, or I don't look for them. I don't look forward to them. Let's put it that way. 80s kid from the 90s. Oh, whoops, did a jump there. 80s kid from the 90s. If you watch the deleted scenes, you could tell they wanted to make a different movie. But you know Disney's new rule. Keep it safe. Yeah, I haven't watched any of the deleted scenes of Lightyear. I haven't watched anything from Lightyear except for Lightyear since the theater. Lightyear is not a movie I'm going to go back to very often. I forget that it exists. But I'd be interested to see those deleted scenes now that you mentioned that. I wonder what they wanted to make. Because the first act of Lightyear was really good. It was really compelling. I was really into it. It wasn't, and then when we got into the second act, it just kind of turned into like a generic movie. And then by the third act with the twist of Zurg, I was like, what is happening? What drugs are they on? So yeah, it wasn't for me. Toxic Gamer 331. 5. Oh, you're ranking the Indiana Jones. 5. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, of course, at the bottom. That's fair. Not for everybody. Number 4, Dial of Destiny. Number 3, Temple of Doom. Number 2, The Last Crusade. And number 1, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Honestly, guys, I'm surprised. I was expecting Dial of Destiny to be higher on a lot of your lists. I'm surprised to see it either behind or in front of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I thought that maybe it would be number 3 or 2 on some people's lists. Interesting. I'm gonna get this wrong. Hozu Saraz. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I totally got that wrong. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us. We're happy to have you here. If you want extra, what would you put the television series? Wait. If you want extra, what would you put the television series? If you were an extra, which television series would I want to be an extra on? Is that what you're asking? I'll just go by that way. If I could pick any show, it'd be Friends. I want to be an extra in Friends. If I had to pick a current show, I think being an extra in Stranger Things would be kind of fun. I don't know what I would do. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'd pick a Star Wars show. Maybe I'd be an extra in Mandalorian. Maybe that could be kind of fun. Or like a Marvel show. I could be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Ooh, okay. Maybe I'll be an extra in Loki. Maybe I'll be an extra in Loki. That's fun. I'll do that one. I'll be an extra in Loki. 80s kid from the 90s. I recently found Blue Moon ice cream at Walmart. It's my unofficial Star Wars ice cream. That's awesome, dude. Blue Moon ice cream at Walmart. I wonder if my Walmart has Blue Moon ice cream. I've never looked. I'll have to check it out. Have you seen that with T? What's going on, dude? Thanks for joining us. Just got in from seeing Joyride. It was pretty funny. Nice. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. John Campea, I listen to him quite often. He was raving about it the other day, but he also said that it was very filthy, very raunchy, very dirty. So that's just not my kind of movie, so I'm probably not going to watch it. But it sounds like a lot of you guys are really going to enjoy it. 80s gift from the 90s. I'm now coming to my senses that everything Disney has put out recently was under the last person. However, Disney needs to stop keeping it safe. I would release another Lightyear movie instead. Yeah, that is true. A lot of what's coming out right now was Bob Chapek, and Bob Chapek was not a good leader for that company. But I do think some stuff that's coming out was signed off by Bob Iger before he left. I'm pretty sure Indiana Jones was signed off by Bob Iger before Bob Chapek took over. But yeah, a lot of the stuff coming out is during the Chapek era, so there is a little bit of a decline in quality for that reason, because Chapek, he took away all the creators' freedoms. He put businessmen in front of them. Pixar was being put on Disney Plus. It was chaos. Hopefully now that Bob Iger is back for at least this year, he'll find a better successor and we'll get better Disney product in the future. Because Disney's struggling. Disney is not doing very well right now. Like, I'm not saying Disney is going under, but Disney is like, they're losing money on their movies. The stuff they're putting out is not producing a producing a profit. They're in a bad spot. They're in a really bad spot right now. Have you seen that with T? No need for a Kill Bill 3. It is unnecessary. I agree. I don't think you need Kill Bill. Like I said, Kill Bill is about getting revenge on Bill and killing him. And in the end of Kill Bill Volume 2, they kill Bill. So Bill's dead. So you can't call it Kill Bill 3. It wouldn't be about killing Bill unless you brought in another Bill, which would be stupid. And I think Quentin Tarantino is a smarter and better director and writer than that. So yeah, I don't think we need Kill Bill 3, and I don't think Quentin Tarantino is just going to spit out a Kill Bill 3 for the sake of getting a Kill Bill 3. So I'm okay that he's not doing it. Zach Attacks Reviews. I love Friends, and that's why we are friends, my friend. I knew I had a good feeling about you. Yeah, dude, I love Friends. It's so funny. All right, guys, let's move on. Let's go on to topic number 3, and we'll get back to your comments and questions as soon as we're done with that. So, yes, topic number 3. Let's get on to it. Excuse me. All right, topic number 3. So, the world, the universes of universes are all awaiting one film right now, and that is Barbie. That's Barbie coming from Mattel. And Mattel is marketing this movie very, very well. It's hard to go onto any YouTube video or any space that plays trailers or promos without seeing a trailer or promo for Barbie. It's all over Twitter. It's all over Instagram. Mattel is really selling this movie. And the projections for Barbie are looking really good. Well, Mattel must have a lot of faith in this Barbie movie because they have set their sights beyond Barbie. They are looking to other products that they own, and they have 45, get this right, 45 projects in development right now. Check this out, guys. This comes to us from Yahoo News. This is a great little article they put together. After Barbie, the toy company Mattel is turning more of its famous brands into movies. Upcoming movies will be based on Barney, Uno, and Magic 8 Ball. Here are 17 live-action movies that they have already announced in development. Lena Dunham is directing a Polly Pocket movie starring Lily Collins. Do you guys remember Polly Pocket? My sister had a Polly Pocket in like 2007, and I don't think I've ever seen a Polly Pocket since. After Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie transformed Barbie into a blockbuster movie, Lena Dunham and Lily Collins plan to do the same to the micro doll line Polly Pocket. In 2021, Deadline reported that Dunham is planning to write and direct the movie, with Collins set to star as the title character as well as produce. Dunham said, Polly Pocket was responsible for countless hours of childhood escapism for me. Polly gave me a tiny world of magic and autonomy to narrate, so it's pretty poetic to be tackling these same ideas now as a director. Okay, give it a shot. Barbie might work. Polly Pocket might work. Give it a shot. Mattel is making an Uno heist comedy. An Uno heist comedy with Lil Lackey. I have no idea what that guy's name is. You read that right. In 2021, Variety reported that Mattel is developing an action heist comedy about the card game Uno, with rapper Lil Yachty being eyed for the lead role. The script for the movie was written by Marcy Kelly. Kelly told The New Yorker she was asked to pitch Mattel a script based on the card game and wrote a heist movie set in Atlanta's hip-hop scene. The first draft that I sent in was F-heavy, Kelly said, explaining that each swear word was flagged by an executive. And then the next draft had one swear word. I got my one well-placed PG-13 F-word. Get Out star, we've heard about this a little while ago, Daniel Kaluuya is making an A24 type film about Barbie. I never would have thought in a million years that I was going to be in my mid-20s and still watching Barbie. But it looks like that's going to become a reality. If it's true, Daniel Kaluuya, known for acting in Black Panther, Get Out, and Windows, is producing a movie about the friendly purple dinosaur Barbie. It was first reported in 2019 that he would be producing the project through his company, 59% Productions. The Marvel star told Entertainment Weekly in 2020, Barbie taught us, I love you, you love me, won't you say you love me too? That's one of the first songs that I remember, and what happens when that isn't true? I thought that was really heartbreaking. I have no idea why, but it feels like that makes sense. It feels like there's something unexpected that can be poignant but optimistic, especially at this time now. I think that's really, really needed. Now, that's a very interesting way to describe his concept of the movie. What if the words I love you, you love me weren't true? Because a lot of people, they instantly hear this Barbie movie being made A24 type, and then they think horror movie. Is it going to be like Barney is forgotten? He's no longer loved by the children, so he's going to take revenge by eating and killing the children who used to love him, who have turned their backs on him? This project, honestly, is one of the more intriguing projects to me. It sounds so bizarre, and I just gotta see what they've got planned with this. Tom Hanks is in this, guys. He's going to space in an upcoming Major Matt Mason movie. I have no idea who Major Matt Mason is. He's based on a 1960s astronaut action figure of the same name. Variety reported that Mattel is partnering with Paramount Pictures to bring the story to life, with Tom Hanks playing the lead role. Magic 8 Ball. Magic 8 Ball is getting the horror treatment, guys. Mattel has been trying to create a Magic 8 Ball movie for almost 20 years. The Guardian reported that in 2006, Universal tried to make a Magic 8 Ball rom-com, and later Paramount tried to make a National Treasure-style movie about the fortune-telling ball. Neither project came to fruition, but Mattel is hard at work to create a horror movie instead. Honestly, that could be fun. A Magic 8 Ball, can you imagine, like, almost like a Final Fantasy type thing where it makes the prediction, hey, is a scary clown going to come out of my closet and cut off my head? It looks likely, and then the clown comes out and kills it. I don't know. It could be fun, honestly. Behind Barney, this one kind of gets me intrigued as well. I'd be down for that. This makes perfect sense. This is the most logical one that's on this list so far. Mattel is making a new live-action Masters of the Universe movie. A Masters of the Universe live-action movie with Dolph Lundgren was attempted in 1987 based on the famous He-Man toys, animated series, and comics. However, it was a critical and commercial failure at the time, only gaining a cult fandom much later. Mattel is attempting a new live-action movie, teaming up this time with Netflix, as reported by Deadline in January 2022. Speaking to The New Yorker, Mattel's CEO Jan Kreese said he believes the film could spawn a franchise as big as Marvel and DC. Whoa, dude, you've got ambitions. You've got ambitions there. You think that you can get Masters of the Universe to become a billion-dollar franchise like Marvel and DC. Well, maybe not so much DC at the moment, but those are I salute you, sir. Those are ambitions. I hope you can do it. The Star Wars director J.J. Abrams is doing a gritty Hot Wheels film. I'm sorry. A gritty Hot Wheels film. It's gonna be a racing movie. Come on. Who are you trying to fool? Last year, Mattel also announced a Hot Wheels movie to be produced by J.J. Abrams' company, Bad Robot. Variety reported that a movie based on the toy car brand is at the script stage, and Deadline said that it will be made throughout a partnership between Mattel Films and Warner Brothers Pictures. Abrams said the franchise will be emotional and grounded and gritty. Okay, J.J. Abrams. Can't wait to see it. Really looking forward. Christmas Balloon will be a true story, guys. Thank goodness. Not all of Mattel's movies will be about toys. In 2021, Deadline reported that Mattel is developing its own live-action holiday movie, Christmas Balloon. Thomas the Tank Engine is also getting a live-action treatment as Mattel. That's going to be nightmare fuel. Oh my gosh. I cannot... Oh no. That trailer is going to be haunting my dreams. Director Mark Foster has jumped from Bond movies to a film about Thomas the Tank Engine. Oh boy, that's a glow up, isn't it? The Deadline reported in 2020 that Mattel Films is teaming up with Foster's production company, Two Ducks Squared, to turn Thomas the Tank Engine into a movie that is a mix of live action and animation. Vin Diesel is planning to join another franchise with a Rock'em Sock'em Robots movie. Yes. Give me this right now. Fast and Furious star Vin Diesel has been pegged to star in and produce a movie based on the Rock'em Sock'em Robots. In 2021, Deadline first reported that Mattel Films, Universal, and Diesel are creating a live-action movie. The publication reports that Rampage writer Ryan Engel will write the script, and the story will follow a father and son who bond with an advanced war machine. American Girl, another doll, is getting another movie treatment. Borat co-writer Dan Mazin is working on a Big Jim movie. I have no idea what Big Jim is. Jason Bateman's company is creating a movie based on the Chatty Cathy and Betsy Wetsy dolls. Do people even know what these are anymore? Do people know these products? I have never heard of these products. Matchbox is another toy car brand that Mattel intends to turn into a live-action movie. But will it be emotional and grounded and gritty? That's the real question I have. MGM... This one kills me. MGM and Mattel are also creating a movie about the Viewmaster. The Viewmaster. Do you guys know what this is? I had one of these as a kid. My grandma bought it for me. It's like this slide that you put this round disc in that has a bunch of little pictures, and you can see the pictures in full frame, and you just click it and move to the next picture. They're making a movie out of this thing. The Hollywood Reporter originally reported in 2019 that MGM and Mattel are teaming up to produce a live-action movie about the Viewmaster. Viewmasters were a 20th century stereoscope through which you could see special pictures. Wishbone, a 90s PBS TV series, is also being turned into a movie. Mattel is also turning Boglins into a Gremlins-like movie. I don't know what Boglins are, but I like Gremlins, so sign me up. So that's... oh, my goodness. Okay, guys, so there you have it. There are 17 projects that Mattel is working on right now. 17 out of 45. Now, look, Mattel, they've got ambitions. Let's hope Barbie makes it. Let's hope Barbie is good. Because if Barbie is not good, and they have just announced all of these projects, they're going to get a lot of egg on their face. If Barbie is not successful, a lot of these projects I don't see happening either. But there are, as much as there are some funny ideas when you think about them in this, I mean, an Uno heist movie, a movie about the Viewmaster. I just can't get over that one. the Barney movie, I mean, subverting expectations with that one, that could be kind of fun. The Hot Wheels, the gritty Hot Wheels. It could be a fun racing movie. It's Vin Diesel and Rock'em Sock'em Robots. That's all I need to hear. Give me that movie now. Some of these might pan out. Some of these might get canceled. They're ambitious, though. That's all I'll say. What do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of Mattel green lighting and getting into production at least 17 movies ahead of Barbie's release? Are you looking forward to any of these? Are there some that you would add to the list? Comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions about this, guys. And without further ado, let's take a look at what you guys are saying about all of this. Oh, man. Toxic Gamer 331. Zach, do you think they're going to bring Eddie back for Stranger Things Season 5? I don't want them to, but they will. They will. Now, I will say I don't know if they're going to bring him back alive, but in some way, shape, or form, we'll see him. Whether or not it's like Vecna making an illusion of him, or Vecna, or him showing up in like the afterlife or something, I don't know. But you'll see him. He'll be back. Preston movie and TV reviews. Friends is goated and one of my favorites and my mom's favorite. Nice, dude. Love hearing that. Pivot. Yep. Iconic, classic. Gravy X Train, Dead Reckoning Part 1 is the 7th film, not the 8th. Oh, you're right, it is. It's the 7th, not the 8th. Whoopsie, I didn't catch that either. Blake Huggins, what's up, Zach? Well, what's up, Blake? Thanks for joining us tonight, man. Happy to have you here. 80s kid from the 90s. I would retcon some stuff from the first movie in the second movie. I would write old Buzz as a clone of Buzz created by the real Zurg, who was hinted at the end of the first one. Yeah, Zurg was such a disappointment. Such a disappointment in Lightyear. A clone might work better. It might have worked better for me. Preston movie and TV reviews. Friends is probably my favorite comedy show behind Big Bang Theory. Nice, dude. Love hearing that. Blake Huggins, those statues are awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah, I love them. They're so cool. Jason Entertainment. Yeah, I was afraid at first when I did a top 10 of the year so far that it would end up being the same list, but I quickly realized that it's almost never the case because great movies come near the end too. Nice. I mean, maybe one day I'll give it a shot. Maybe next year I'll give it a shot. Who knows? At the moment, though, I don't have any plans to. But I'm very appreciative and very thankful that you'd be even interested in me making a video like that, dude. That means a lot. 80s kid from the 90s. Zurg could have beaten Buzz's dad long ago, and Buzz could be a threat to Zurg. Maybe Zurg has Lightyear's dad's mind trapped into Zurg for knowledge to get rid of the Star Command. Dude, you have thought about this more than I think the writers of Lightyear have. Their movie. So that's awesome, dude. I like that. I like your ideas there. That's actually really awesome. 80s kid from the 90s. I would also introduce the Pizza Planet aliens, limit Mo, Izzy, Darby, and Socks to 5 minutes of screen time. Focus on Buzz, aliens, and Zurg. I'd be interested in checking out this movie. I'm not even gonna lie. I think you have some interesting ideas with this, and it sounds more interesting than the movie that we got. Let's just say that. Jason Entertainment. Also, I do it so I can show to. Oh, also I do it so I can show it to some people that might not have heard of it from the first half of the year, so they don't sleep on them. I'm actually working on it while I write on your stream. That's awesome, dude. Well, I'm glad I could be accompanying you while you work on your video. That's awesome. Zach Attacks Reviews. Have a great night, Zach. Fantastic stream as always. We'll see you in the next vid. Well, thank you so much for being here tonight, Zach, my friend. It's great always having you in here, and thank you so much for that generous super chat as well, dude. That means a lot to me. 80s kid from the 90s. My favorite character is Joey Tribbiani. My favorite character is Chandler. But honestly, I think it's Ross now, because I relate a lot more to Chandler. I relate to Chandler a lot. He's the character that I relate to the most on any TV show. But Ross is funnier. David Schwimmer almost single-handedly carries that show. He is phenomenal. Everything he does, every physical bit of comedy, every dialogue, the way that he says the lines, he just makes me crack up every time. I love it. 80s kid from the 90s. By the power of Grayskull. That's right, dude. They're doing it. They're doing it. It's coming. 80s kid from the 90s. Thundercats movie. Doesn't look like it, but hey, there's more to come. There's 45 in total. We only got 17. Maybe there's a Thundercats in there they're just not ready to talk about yet. 80s kid from the 90s. I used to watch Barney and Friends all the time until I was 9. Yeah, Barney and Friends was my show as a kid. Like, I don't know. How old was I? Maybe 4? 4 to 6? 5? I don't know. I don't remember when I stopped watching Barney, to be honest. I definitely watched it long enough that I have very, very solid memories of it. And also my brother watched Barney when he was younger, so I would have watched it with him as well. So that probably helps with that. Preston movie and TV. No, not Uno. Why? Yeah, I think of all the ones that they announced, the Viewmaster and the Uno are the ones where I'm like, you're stretching. You're stretching. You're trying too hard. You're trying too hard to make something happen. Toxic Gamer, is it going to be a horror movie with Barney? Well, the fact that they're saying they want to make it like an A24, that's where my mind instantly goes. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be horror. So we'll see what happens. Read comics. This is just ridiculous. Mattel are just spewing out any random idea, letting money carry them away. Most of these are laughable. The only ones that would work are Barbie and He-Man. Yeah, a lot of them are laughable, as you could tell from tonight. He-Man is one that you do, though. Like He-Man, Masters of the Universe, that is a beloved property that's gotten a nostalgia, that has the fantasy elements, the potential to be a really awesome franchise, as they said. The ambitions to make it as big as Marvel, those are huge. I reach for the stars, man. Reach for the stars, and hopefully you catch some. But for me, that's just make one good movie. Just focus on making one good movie, and then maybe talk about being as big as Marvel or DC. 80s kid from the 90s. 8-Ball was already in a movie. It was in Toy Story. Yes, it was. And you know what? 8-Ball is the reason that Woody tried to murder Buzz. Just saying. I think the horror elements are already there. I think there's a foundation that they can build on. Toxic Gamer 331. Magic 8-Ball could be a very good thriller horror movie. I can see how they can do it. Yeah, Magic 8-Ball, if they executed it right, it actually could be pretty effective, I think. It'll probably end up just coming out as like a cheap throwaway horror film. Hopefully not, but if they do it right, it could be fun. Toxic Gamer 331. Okay, 8-Ball makes sense, but a killer car racing movie, what I mean, come on. But a killer car racing movie, what I mean, come on. Read comics. Hasbro knows how to make toy movies. Haven't they only done Transformers? Maybe not. Maybe they've done more. I'm only thinking of Transformers though. 80s gift from the 90s. A gritty Hot Wheels movie. Yes. Question mark indeed. The View with Drew. Have you seen Eddie the Eagle? I have. I love that movie. Really good movie. Really inspiring. And Taron Egerton, fantastic in it. Along with Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman's really good in that too. 80s kid from the 90s. Thomas already had a movie with Alec Baldwin. That movie was okay. That movie's bizarre. I've seen that movie once, a very long time ago. I don't know if I'm ready for another Thomas. I don't know if I can handle another one. Toxic Gamer 331. Rock'em Sock'em Robots I could see being good also, but also the opposite. Yep, it could be. It could. It's got Vin Diesel in it, so I think it's going to be fun either way. But yeah, it could be fun good or fun bad. We'll find out. 80s kid from the 90s. A Viewmaster, the movie. Yep, I have no idea what they're thinking with that one. Toxic Gamer 331. Viewmaster could be a horror movie like what they did with the It movie, where if you keep on turning the tape, they can make it where you get killed by something, kind of similar to The Ring. Maybe. I guess they could do something like that. It's a children's toy. So they're gonna be killing kids? Maybe? I guess they could do that. I don't know. I hear that they're doing a Viewmaster movie and I laugh so hard. I hope they prove me wrong. I hope that by 2027 when Viewmaster comes out, it's my favorite movie of that year. Let's bookmark this video and see if that happens. Toxic Gamer 331. 80s kid from the 90s. Alec Baldwin was in a Thomas movie. I'm surprised that I never saw that. Yeah, it's an interesting movie. That's all I'll say. It's an interesting movie. Toxic Gamer 331. The only thing that took down my Lightyear score down was the Zurg twist. Yeah, the Zurg twist just really did not work for me. 80s kid from the 90s. They were on a break. I agree. They were on a break. Controversial? Maybe. Toxic Gamer 331. I think it's so weird that they're making Toy Story 5. They ended it nicely, but it does make sense because of money. But story-wise, I would do a Lightyear 2, even though the first one bombed heavily. Honestly, Toy Story 5 worries me because, once again, Disney's kind of in a spot where they need to be making money. And now that Toy Story 5 kind of feels like that's why they're doing it, is just to make, like, every movie they make is to make money. But when they made Toy Story 4, they were very adamant. They kept saying, we have a story, we have something we want to tell, we have this itch that we got to scratch. I haven't gotten that sense from Toy Story 5. Toy Story 5 just feels like, hey, Toy Story 4 did well, make 5. Hopefully it doesn't ruin anything. Toxic Gamer 331. Uno, I don't know what you could do with that. Well, they're going to make it a heist. They're going to make it a heist film, so we'll see how that turns out. All right, guys, we'll take a quick break, and we'll finish off our last topic of the night, and then we'll get back to your comments and questions. And the last topic of the night, guys, is this. So, we talked last week. Last week, the news came out. San Diego Comic-Con is in a little bit of trouble at the moment. Marvel dropped out. Netflix dropped out. Amazon dropped out. HBO Max dropped out. Basically, every big, exciting studio that had something to present that us geeks and nerds were looking forward to, they're not going to be there. But the one shining glimmer of hope that Comic-Con could still be awesome was James Gunn's DCU. DC, at that moment, had not dropped out. They were going to be the only game in town. They had the whole place in their hands to do something awesome with. Well, it looks like that glimmer of hope has faded because James Gunn has said he's not going to San Diego Comic-Con. Here's what Deadline or Superhero what's this site called again? The superherohype.com had to say. In a recent reply to a fan on Instagram, Gunn was asked whether or not he would be attending San Diego Comic-Con 2023. The filmmaker and co-CEO of DC Studios replied that he wouldn't be there this year, but did say he would probably be there next year. The news came as a variety of large companies all prepare to skip San Diego Comic-Con's infamous Hall H. Last month, it was reported that Marvel Studios, Netflix, Sony, HBO, and Universal would all not be hosting their usual large showcase due to the ongoing writer's strike in Hollywood, as well as the impending possibility of an actors' strike happening. So there you have it, guys. No Marvel, no James Gunn, no DC. Comic-Con just feels officially shot to me. Now, am I saddened by this? Yes. Yes, I am. Because Comic-Con's always been a fun weekend. Like, even if you don't get to go, they always release some kind of fun news. A trailer comes out. Something always happens at Comic-Con that lights the geek sphere up and lights up Twitter, and it's just a fun time. But this year, it looks like Hall H is going to be empty. It looks like no one's going. And I can see why this is happening. And I'm not too surprised. I'm not as surprised as I would have been last week because they dropped Superman and Lois's casting in the articles. Because that would have been their big explosion. That would have been the talk of the town. Is James Gunn coming out on stage and saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, you're Superman, you're Lois." As soon as they released the news of who was playing Superman and who was playing Lois in the articles, in the trades, I kind of lost hope of Comic-Con. I kind of figured, they're not going to do anything big there. Now, they still could have done some stuff. We still had the Batman Part 2. They could have talked a little bit about that. They could have talked about the Joker Part 2. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's wrapped. They probably have something that they could show. And maybe Warner Brothers will go. Maybe Warner Brothers will show something. I don't know if they were in the list or not. But yeah, this is kind of depressing. But it also makes sense when you look at the writer's strike and you look at the impending actors' strike, because the actors, they're not on strike. They have extended their negotiations all the way to July 12th, but you don't necessarily want to pay and book actors to come out to Hall H if you're not guaranteed that they're going to be able to make it to Hall H by July 20th. If they're on strike, they're on strike. They ain't coming, and there's not much you can do about that. And then you got the writer's strike. And James Gunn's DCU, there are things that still have yet to be written. If they don't have anything written down for The Authority, for Swamp Thing, there's nothing to show. So in the one sense, I'm bummed because this was going to be DC's Comic-Con. This was going to be their show, and now it's not. But on the other hand, I can see why it's not. All the reasons as to why James Gunn is not going, why DC is not going to Comic-Con, they all make sense. As well with all these other companies. The reasons why they're all skipping make sense. It's just a bummer because it kind of feels like this is going to be a very lackluster San Diego Comic-Con 2023. But maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe this Comic-Con will actually be awesome. Maybe some stuff will drop from other people. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But what do you guys think of this? Are you guys bummed? Are you guys disappointed that James Gunn is not going to be taking the stage at Hall H at Comic-Con? Were you looking forward to it? Comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions about this, guys. And without further ado, let's see what you guys are saying about this. With that, guys, that's the last topic of the night that we're going to go through. So now we are just going to strictly take your live comments and questions for however long you guys want to go for. So let's just get this started. Let's kick this off with Toxic Gamer 331. They have been trying to make another Masters of the Universe movie for a while now. Yeah, there was a number of years back, there was that announcement that Noah Centineo, or I can't remember what his name is, but he did all like the Netflix rom-com movies. He was supposed to be He-Man in Masters of the Universe. He was attached to that for a while, and then that never took off. Maybe this is that movie, who knows? But yeah, they've been trying to get this off the ground for a very long time. You're right. 80s kid from the 90s. Disney started Lightyear, now they need to finish the story. I would get someone like Pete Docter or Brad Bird. It's not going to happen. It's not going to Lightyear didn't do very well. It lost the money, and unfortunately, that's just what's going to... It's not going to get a sequel. Unfortunately, Lightyear could have been a cool franchise. It could have been. I wasn't a big fan of the first movie, but it could have been awesome. And unfortunately, it just wasn't. And it didn't really capture the audience either. The audience didn't go out to support it. Talk to Gamer 331. I'm a head out now. Another great stream, Zach. Always love these. See you next Wednesday. Pizza. Well, thank you for being here, Toxic Gamer. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for always being here, man. I love seeing you in the chat. And the show was made better because you were a part of it. So thank you for being here. Same to everyone else who left. The show was made better because you were a part of it. 80s kid from the 90s. If any Pixar movie deserves a sequel besides Lightyear, it's Bug's Life. A Bug's Life. Going back to revisit a Bug's Life. That's an interesting idea. I don't know. I could see some. Yeah, you know what? I could see something with a Bug's Life. They could do something with a Bug's Life. I'll give you that. I'd like to see WALL-E get a sequel. I think there's a story to tell with WALL-E. Well, I like how WALL-E ends, so maybe not. Ratatouille. Ratatouille could be Ratatouille, the sequel. Ratatouille in Hell's Kitchen. You get Gordon Ramsay in there. Ratatouille faces his biggest challenge yet. Cooking for Gordon Ramsay. Can we do that? Ratatouille 2? Come on, Pixar, call me up. Let's get something going. Sully Streets, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us tonight, dude. Tuning in late here, Zach. Hope you're doing well and that you ranked Dial of Destiny dead last in your indie rankings. Well, I'm glad to make you proud, man. I did. I don't know what to say to that. It gives me, first of all, let me just make it clear. It gives me no joy at all to make it dead last. I really wanted to like the movie. I just didn't. Well, it was okay. Nathan's Random Movies. I literally have been commenting because I took a break and just watched the third. I literally have not been commenting because I took a break and just watched the third episode of Secret Invasion. Nice, dude. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to watching it as soon as the stream's done. I hope it's good. I've been enjoying the show so far. Read comics. I'm going to eventually make a video about my top 5 directors. James Gunn is definitely in there. Yeah, I mean, top 5 directors. Steven Spielberg is my favorite for sure. I'd put Quentin Tarantino. I'd put Edgar Wright. James Gunn in my top 5. I don't know. I don't know if he would make it. Preston movie and TV reviews. Good night, Zach. Have a good night. See you next week. Well, have a good night yourself, Preston. Thank you so much for being here, man. The show was made better because you were a part of it. We'll see you next time, buddy. Toxic Gamer 331. Also, just saying they could do where they could sucked into a colorful kids universe with cool creatures or something like that. Okay, I'm leaving for real this time now. See you, man. All right, man. I'll see you later. Have a great night. The show was made better because you were a part of it, and I appreciate you. 80s kid from the 90s. It's a smart decision because next year it's all about production for Superman Legacy and the Batman Part 2. Yeah, that's the bright side, right? Is we don't get anything this year, but that just means next year we're going to get a whole bunch of stuff. So I guess we have to look on the positives with that way. 80s kid from the 90s, the beginning of the DCU. Yes, it is. 80s kid from the 90s, Zurg would have his colored cap too. Oh my goodness. I love all these Lightyear rewrites. They're so great. Read comics. I'm not worried about San Diego Comic-Con. The studios are dropping out for a good reason. The focus needs to be on resolving the strikes. There are no shortage of comic book stuff to be at San Diego Comic-Con, though. Yeah, no, that's true. If you're at San Diego Comic-Con, there's going to be a lot to look forward to. And yes, absolutely. These strikes have to get resolved. These writers have to get what they deserve. They have to get the pay. They have to get this AI thing settled. I feel so bad for the writers right now because the director guild, they made a deal, so they're clear to work. They're fine. The actors, the fact that they extended their conversations to July 12th is a good sign for them, I think. So it's very possible that the actors will make a deal, and then the writers are going to be on their own. They're going to be the only union on strike. And if they had the directors, if they had the actor unions on strike with them, they would have had so much more leverage, and the studios would have had to come to them so much quicker. The fact that the directors have made a deal and it's looking like the actors might make a deal, these writers might be on strike for a really long time if they're really going to stick to their guns. And that sucks. That sucks for them because they're real people, and they need the pay and they deserve to get the work. And, man, it's a bummer. 80s kid from the 90s. I think Superman Legacy is a movie we all need. Yeah. DC needs it. Warner Brothers needs it. The Superman character needs it. We need it. There's a lot riding on that. I hope James makes it good. I have my full faith in James Gunn, but oh man, it's got to be good. Spoiler Kings. I just feel that the MCU and the DCU don't have any news. MCU is waiting for D23 to announce Fantastic Four casting, but I think both studios are in an in-between stuff stage. I can see that, but I also think that there was stuff they could have done some stuff with the Marvels. They could have Deadpool 3. I'm sure has enough footage where they could have put something fun, a little something together. There could have been some stuff from Loki. There was some Captain America, Brave New World. They just finished filming apparently, so they probably would have had something prepared by the end. They probably could have gotten something out, but because of the writer's strike, because of all these strikes, yeah, they probably don't have it as much as they would have in the past. But that's a fair point. Chillmonger, it'll be lackluster. You're not wrong. Can't remember what I said that about, but thank you for saying that I'm not wrong, man. I appreciate that. Nathan's Random Movies. Secret Invasion Episode 3 is more fast-paced than the first 2 episodes. That's good news. That's really good to hear. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Spoiler Kings. Maybe we'll get a Mattel universe now with Barbie coming out. He-Man, Barbie, and Hot Wheels crossover. Oh, man. What would No, it couldn't be the MCU. That's hilarious. The CMU? The Cinematic Mattel Universe? The CMU? Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the CMU. Coming to you soon. 80s kid from the 90s. Imagine if someone like DreamWorks or Illumination made a better sci-fi movie than Lightyear that made millions. I mean, it could happen. It's not far-fetched. It could definitely happen. 80s kid from the 90s. Okay, it's past midnight for me. I need some sleep. Goodbye, everyone. Well, dude, thank you so much for staying here for that long. Thank you for joining us. Have a great night, dude. The show was made better, as it always is, because you were a part of it, dude. I appreciate you. Spoiler Kings. Superman needs a good movie, but it gets hard to make a good Superman movie. Oh, yeah. No, it is not easy to make any Superman movie. It's not easy to make any movie. So I totally don't pity anyone who has to make it. James Gunn, he's got his challenge ahead of him. I hope he can do it. The Jay Shrey way. What's going on, Jay Shrey? Thanks for joining us tonight. Do you plan on seeing Insidious Red Door? I do not, unfortunately. I haven't seen any of the other franchise, and I'm not going to go out to see it. Chillmonger, Superman just needs an available actor. Well, they've got an actor. They've got David Cornsweet coming in there, man. So no need to worry about that. They've got their actor. All right, guys. And with that, we're all caught up on the comments and questions. So I think that's going to do it for this episode of Zach Milne Talks Live. Thank you, everyone who came here tonight. Thank you, everyone, for engaging in the chat. Everyone who joined us. Everyone listening over at the podcast. If you're listening over at the podcast, thank you for joining us. Again, guys, if you enjoyed the show and you're new here, if you liked what you saw, consider hitting that subscribe button on your way out. We talk movies all the time. We'd love to have you join our community. We're trying to hit 2,500 subscribers before the end of the year, and we would absolutely love it if you would join us. All right, guys, with that, that's the show. Thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you guys again next week. Same Zach time, same Zach channel.